Happy Halloween from Benjamin Green.
That was terrible. I
Do we
go
want to
back,
take the opening again?
go
Yes.
back to go back to anything else.
I told you
Um,
guys I was
The
going to come up with something
editor will
different this week.
definitely take it out.
whew,
No, we're not cutting that out. We're not cutting any of this out. Raw and
Mhm.
unfiltered, baby.
Oh yeah.
we are
Uh,
unqualified. We don't have an editor.
yeah, Ben's giving away the ending of the episode here. Um, so we're talking about Black Adam this week. No segue whatsoever. Um, I am going to say my usual catchphrase here, and that's what you guys think. Let's start with Max because he sent me a pretty astonishing text about Noah Centineo.
Okay, and then I took it back. Um, the text was that he was a crime against humanity in the film. And like, yeah, that's a little strong. I just felt he was either underutilized as like the goofy idiot junior member of the JSA, or he just should not have been written in the way that he was. And I think I haven't really decided on which one I want to go with yet. So I sent George that text immediately. But I do take that part back. Like for what he was given, for what he did, he wasn't like bad, but he just felt out of place. But anyways,
It was a very Spider-Man and Captain America Civil War level role.
What it was for me, what was I want Spider-Man. We have Spider-Man at home, and the Spider-Man at home is Noah Centero.
To me, I just
Centineo.
like DC
Centineo.
trying to like spawn a bunch of random superheroes without giving them backstories. So it's like, oh wait, look at these guys. Oh, this person has powers. Just they have a high IQ. It kind of reminded me of like the recruiting scene in the X-Men where they're like finding people. Um, but like they're really only finding like two people, and then there's the old guys. So I think the movie could have been done without either of the junior members. Just are sort of extra
Yeah.
anything.
They
Well,
they almost came across like characters written in later, but that's sort of impossible.
Yeah.
So
The
like
entire plot functions without them ever being there, other than like them being MacGuffins to sort of, I don't know, contain Black Adam for a second, or I don't know, building.
they were distractions. They were literally like
yeah.
Noah Centineo would just punch Black Adam and like sit on him basically for like 2 seconds before
Yeah.
Black Adam would lightning out of it.
Also, we were robbed, and I said this in my Letterboxd review. We were robbed of Henry Winkler in a full appearance as the Atom Smasher. He
I
was
just think
Uncle Al on FaceTime in one scene. I want to see Henry Winkler wearing the ping pong ball mocap suit behind the scenes of Black Adam, where he's gonna grow to be like, 100 fucking feet tall.
that would be amazing.
And he pulls
I
off the
wanna-
mask, and it's just giant Henry Winkler. And I'm thinking, wow, if this were Barry, it would be worse.
I want to see one of those auditions, like fake auditions with Henry Winkler. It's like, all right, so we're doing Atom Smasher. So I like grow to the size of a building. Now, how are we going to do that? Do you have like nanobots, or are you gonna
No,
hoist
Henry.
me up?
Henry, this is all going to be CGI.
CGI? I don't know that one. Is this a new technique? How do I get bigger? I've been trying to get bigger my entire life.
Nailed it, bro. That was it up. I enjoyed that. There were people who probably thought the Atom Smasher was ADAM Smasher.
Yeah.
They also
For a
do
movie
have
called Black Adam.
They have
That's
a
true.
funny Adam joke when he first like shows up though. It's like he needs snacks because it takes a lot of energy to smash atoms.
It, it's like to to bring that towards the film itself. I feel like the film, it had a lot of things I liked, but I did feel like its story was a bit of a mess, a little bit.
Disagree.
I think the story was fine. It was pretty like linear. I think it works. Typical anti-hero story. I think the only thing that really screwed it up was like having some side projects like Atom Smasher and what was her name? The
Cyclone.
Cyclone. No,
Cyclone.
Cyclone. Okay, well, I probably could have guessed that.
Her character design was really cool, though. I actually really liked the way that they sort of showed her powers.
Yeah, no, it definitely looks cool.
Yeah.
Could
But
DC
like
just?
character.
I'm sorry. Could DC just do one movie where it's not just overloaded with slow motion? Like we got the entire Snyder Cut's worth of slow motion on Wonder Woman in 2 hours on Cyclone.
It was all right. So it was a lot for me. Like we just started out, we just found Black Adam, like, and all of a sudden we go into a slow-mo, like long slow-mo scene, like paint it black. It's like, but we haven't even seen him do very much. He just blew a bunch of
Second time in my life I've been surprised by a Rolling Stones song in a superhero movie. What was the first? What was the first?
Nobody knows.
Sympathy for the Devil. I don't know.
It was Avengers Endgame. Doom and Gloom. No? Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, right when they're starting building the quantum tunnel. Rolling Stones, Doom and Gloom starts playing.
I guess I gotta rewatch it.
Yes, always rewatch Avengers Endgame.
You have other things you need to watch. Stop rewatching Avengers.
Hey, you know what? I have seen more movies for the first time this year than rewatches this year.
That's
good. That's good.
So I'm making progress.
Because Marvel made a lot of movies this year, you know, and so
Declan, you get a timeout. So anyway, back to the movie.
Yeah,
I stand by what I say.
I think it was definitely a lot. Go straight into the slow-mo, and then for it to be that long too. It was kind of fun. Like I didn't really care about the characters too much. It was just the Black Adam show and blowing people up.
The only characters that I feel they wanted us to care about were Adriana, right? The mom archaeologist, and the other one was Hawkman.
I feel
so we spent like, based on the trailers, you would have guessed that Dr. Fate would have a much bigger role in the movie, but it's really the Hawkman show when the JSA shows up.
He's still there, you know. It's not like
he's still there, and he has a huge role in the climax of the film, but like he's not calling the shots. He's not, orchestrating
but that's part of
battle.
that's part of the drawback of having a character that
is so
can see into the future. Like you can't have him calling the shots because otherwise you get into so many other. You have to you have to work around, basically a time travel sort of scenario where it's like, all right, he can't bet on the future. Like all he can do is find loopholes, which obviously is what ends up happening, but he can't tell anybody about it. So like why would it make any sense for him?
He can't tell anybody about it, but
the one calling the shots.
But there are moments where he tells Hawkman what happens. It's like, yes, you die. I saw you die.
Yeah, that was at the last moment though. That wasn't like he did it in minute 10 of the movie.
And then he was like, I found the third option or whatever.
I think Dr. Fate was pretty good. I would say Pierce Brosnan did a great job. And the only thing that I don't think they really captured was well, there were two things. The one thing, just character-wise, is he's supposed to have sort of an alter ego. He's not really Kent when he puts on the helmet. He becomes Dr. Fate, who's essentially a god. He's like a lord of order.
They try to do it, but he doesn't actually
allude to it. And they say like, oh yeah, he completely becomes a different person.
He's
but
possessed.
He also
they don't show it.
Yeah, he sort of acts the same, so I think they could have done that a little bit better. Um, the other thing is, I don't really. They kind of like nerfed him hard. Like, he sometimes doesn't interfere with things because he's like a Lord of Order. Really powerful. But also like, uh, he's way more powerful than all these guys. So it was interesting to see them sort of nerf him like that because he's not just like Doctor Strange. He's like Doctor Strange on steroids and crack and meth all at once.
Yeah. So let's talk about the most OP character in the film. Let's talk about Black Adam.
Mm.
You
I
know,
thought
you
you were
got
gonna talk about Superman.
Yeah.
that is true. We can talk about the Superman cameo a little later on,
Mm.
because that post-credit scene got me hype in the
Mm.
theater. But we'll get into that in a minute. Black Adam, The Rock's in his first superhero movie. I thought he did okay. I couldn't really see past Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
I
Well,
really
also
Yeah.
it being
wanted him to
like a
be a character.
decade-long passion project of his, you'd think that
Wait,
you might
really?
get a little bit more
Oh
based.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's been
I'm
fighting to
gonna
get this
tell
movie made for like 15 years.
Oh,
I'm gonna tell you
Like,
right
I'm not
he
saying that
was
he was bad. It's just,
No, he wasn't bad.
I think, I mean, he was Dwayne Johnson. Like you
Yeah.
said, it's hard to see past that. And that's not
Yeah.
anything against him. I think he actually is a pretty solid actor,
Mm.
came from wrestling, and so like he knows when to play it up, and he's pretty solid. He's very
Yeah.
entertaining. Like he's charismatic, but you'd think
Yeah.
that you might get a little bit of like a bump.
Yeah.
I
I
thought that
think.
this was very much like what would have happened if we got a full movie of Captain America waking up 70 years after going in the ice and adapting to the modern world. And
Mm.
a lot of the humor in Black Adam was this character trying to, figure out one, what the hell is going on 5,000 years later, and two, how do I work with these people?
I'm gonna
Mm.
The
tell
first
you
part of that is very much like, fish out of water type, I'm learning sarcasm. I'm trying to figure out when to say a catchphrase. That's
Yeah.
it adds
I
levity, but it
I
threw off a few
I
scenes.
think
I don't think
also.
it's Captain America. I definitely disagree with that because it's not really the same. I
That's
mean,
that's the biggest and most recent in my mind example of
I
that.
will tell you exactly what it is. It's Terminator 2.
Yeah.
Terminator comes back and John Connor is hanging with him and he has to teach him all this stuff. Terminator, forms a bond. It's literally the same story. Um, so that that's all I could think about during the
Mm.
entire movie, especially with the catchphrase. It's like hasta la vista, baby. And like watching TV and getting like ideas from that with the shootout. I definitely got so many like T2 vibes. But I think the other thing that sort of holds us back is they had to sort of change the character. Black Adam, well, he's sort of an anti-hero. He's like, I don't know, he's pretty ruthless.
Yeah,
Like,
he's much more of a villain in the comics.
yeah,
Like
he's
it's
such
kind of a
a
bit interesting to make him like even a
he rules
protagonist.
conduct and he sort of protects it, but it's not like they definitely changed him a lot. So I feel like he couldn't really go all out because then he's sort of just a straight up villain.
Mm.
He's like, because in the comics, he'll be like laughing maniacal, like destroying shit. I feel like if they did that in the film,
Well, that
it's
makes me
really
think of
creepy.
the Punisher series, that Marvel and Netflix did, right? Where it is very dark, it is very gritty, and you definitely get maybe not quite a villain, but definitely a bad guy
Wait,
that
wait, wait, wait. No,
has,
no, no, no.
you know,
Wait, wait, wait,
okay,
wait.
all right. Well, that was fun.
Yeah, I mean, Black Adam was initially planned to be a villain, if not the villain, in the 2019 film Shazam.
Yeah, which is normally what his role is. He's the
Yeah,
villain.
yeah.
That was
I
written out of that movie very early on in the creative process
mm.
when they decided that they wanted to move forward with The Rock as
Yeah, because The Rock's like,
Vampire.
no, I don't want to
Yeah.
be a villain. I don't want to be a one-off like villain that
Yeah.
on that.
Though I will say, I think it was a little weird that Captain Marvel didn't have any appearance in the film. Like it's a little odd, given that like Black Adam is
I
so
don't know.
tied to him.
I mean, it's entirely possible that like nobody knows what's going on over there. It's conduct and it's not really big on international media.
Also,
So
just the idea of a DC film. I know the comic history of Captain Marvel in DC, but the idea of a DC film in 2022 saying, "Hey, here's this character, Captain Marvel."
Yeah. They're sort of
Also,
they're in a weird spot.
it's Shazam. It's Shazam.
Yeah.
It is
Nobody
Shazam,
refers
yeah.
to it as Captain Marvel anymore.
I mean, nobody. I hope nobody watching thinks we were talking about Brie Larson.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why they changed it because it's like he says Shazam.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, of course, the wizard is Shazam. So, like, yeah,
That's the wizard Shazam.
yeah. It's
But-
different from Shazam, the character who is Billy Bat. No, yeah, no, it's like it's one of those things where because of how old comics are, but it is a bit odd, an odd situation.
Yeah. I think for the last like 20 years at least, they just go by Shazam now.
Yeah. The problem is that like until Brie Larson, I feel like Captain Marvel wasn't actually that popular of a character. I feel like Miss Marvel even was more popular of a character, and eventually
Miss
they
Marvel
just
is
made
new.
Danvers Captain Marvel.
Kamala Khan is a new character.
No. Prior to that,
Okay.
Carol Danvers was
Captain
Miss
Marvel.
but she was a more popular character. So then they made her Captain Marvel and Kamala Khan Miss Marvel. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
So yeah, it's like again, it's weird twists in how weird comic history is.
Yeah, that's why they changed it because I don't know what the hell's going on right now.
No one does, fun fact, except Alan Moore, but he's gone now.
A big qualm that a lot of people have with DC, I guess DCEU movies at this point, is the CGI. How did the CGI work for you guys in Black Adam?
That is fun.
I will say this. This is like not directly related. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on it. I liked the setting. I thought the setting was cool, like a decently unique thing. I don't know. It felt unique to me, like the sort of. But what do you guys think of it?
What, the setting of Conduct?
Yeah, like Kondak itself. Like I thought, like I thought Kondak was like.
It's not really unique though. It's from his comics. It would be insane to adapt Black Adam without Conduct. That's where
No, but I mean just like the way it's portrayed on
The visuals, which I think plays back into
Oh,
the CGI.
Yeah, like I thought like the giant statue, despite it being unrealistic that a statue that large would survive for 2,000 years, still I thought it was cool, but
that's fun. The cinematography kind of reminded me of Uncharted a bit.
the movie.
A little bit.
Action cinematography. So it's fine. It's nothing crazy.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen our episode on Uncharted, it's in the playlist. Go watch it.
I didn't have a serious issue with it. Nothing was like, oh my god, that's looks so cool.
It got I never felt taken out of the film by the CGI, except oddly enough for Giant Atom Smasher. For some reason, I feel like he kind of, again, like going off of him being standing out, he kind of felt like, I don't know, something seemed like off with him, I felt, when he was large. It
didn't seem that different from like the CGI for Ant-Man when he gets big. I thought it was fine. I didn't notice. I think it's just unnatural to see someone that big and it's very heavily CGI.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah, I mean, when you see it in real life, it's like it's a completely different scenario. Like
when we see giant people walking in real life,
exactly,
every day,
or dinosaurs.
So another question for you guys, and it's one that I asked last week. What was your favorite scene? I liked asking that question last week, and I want to ask it again.
Uh,
What's my favorite scene? That's a good question.
I kind of liked when he went to the underworld. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The
Love it.
visuals of that were outstanding.
Mhm.
Like standing upside down. I thought it was cleverly. I mean, it's like he's not there for too long, but it's noticeable.
Mhm.
You get to go to the underworld. Pretty cool.
Mhm.
The sky opening up, CGI was a little bit suspect there. It was a little too looked like augmented reality or something.
Was it any worse than the CGI we got in Spider-Man No Way Home?
No, probably not.
I think my favorite scene. I did enjoy like the like opening scene with like Black Adam and the kid, sort of like him giving him advice on how to do it. Obviously, it's like a cliched thing from Terminator 2, but I enjoy those types of
You
scenes
must
when they're
kill
done.
your enemies.
Yeah. What do you say?
You must kill your enemies.
Yeah.
Violence,
I
that.
when they're done well, I enjoy those scenes, and I felt it was done well here, so I like
Yeah,
that
I
scene.
kind of like that.
Yeah. Like especially like they're like, who's gonna teach him how to use violence? Yeah. Like that's fun. That's fun.
I think honestly, I very much enjoyed all the scenes with Dr. Fate. He was good.
Mhm.
Other than them, nerfing his powers like tremendously. But
Always nice to see Pierce Brosnan in another role.
Dr. Fate's one that doesn't get a lot of love normally.
No, he's definitely an obscure one, in
Yeah.
terms of DC's heroes.
Yeah, he's not one of the big guys.
But yeah, so it's cool.
Max,
It's
do you
cool.
have an answer?
Yeah, I think I do. I liked the scene where when they won at the end and all the like the undead people, like the zombies, they like Thanos snapped away. I thought that was kind of funny because I was like, but I also like the scene in the apartment where all of the DC superhero posters got lightninged.
Yeah.
Because it kind of felt like the directors were like, all right, you know what? Fuck it. We're getting rid of everything. We're gonna tear it all down and we're gonna start actually making movies now. Even though we know that probably isn't the case, but that's kind of what I thought of. It's like, oh,
Well,
we're gonna destroy them.
you just
Considering the
remind me.
DCEU has been around for 9 years now.
You remind me
Yeah.
of the sky when like he dies and yeah, the zombies die, but also the sky that was like, I don't know, opened up the portal to hell, just instantly goes back to like normal. That
Yeah,
really took me out. I was like, wait a minute.
not so fast.
That was a little extreme.
It was also sort of like strange when it's like, oh, Black Adam, you could rule them, and he like sits on the throne, and
Oh yeah.
it zooms in on him on the throne for like 15 seconds before he finally goes like no, and then destroys it. But it's weird that it was like for like a really solid chunk of time. It's like
Yeah.
him sitting on the throne. It's like, oh man, this is so cool.
Well,
It's
the
like
thing is, in
I was
the
just-
comics,
I never saw that scene ending any differently than the way it did.
oh yeah, exactly. So it's like,
in the
why did they
comics,
extend it
he
for so
does
long?
rule. He sits on a throne, so it's like he rules conduct on a throne.
On one of the posters, he's sitting on a throne.
Yeah. Like, was it just for the poster shot? Like, or
It's a
did
pretty-
they just
it's a
have
pretty
extra
common
footage on the
scene.
day they shot the picture?
It's a
Or like,
common
yeah, let's
scene
put it in the
in the
movie.
So I'm gonna answer my own question because my favorite scene has not been mentioned yet. It's when Black Adam and Hawkman are not one of the times they're fighting. It's sort of adjacent to that. It's when Black Adam is interrogating the two thugs up in the sky,
Mm.
and then he drops them, and Hawkman swoops in and saves them. And then Hawkman and Black Adam in the apartment have this, really quick interaction where it's like, I didn't kill them. I got the information I needed, and then nobody died, so we're good. something like that.
Yeah.
And I thought that, the two of them interacting throughout. I mean, the performances we got uh, from Aldous Hodge and from Dwayne Johnson, they had good chemistry throughout. I didn't really get that chemistry from like Aldous Hodge and Pierce Brosnan. I didn't get it from Dwayne Johnson and any of the people living in Kahndaq. But it was nice to have those two characters interacting in such a way throughout that was really consistent and really well done.
I feel like when Dwayne Johnson had like another like character with like a big enough personality to bounce off of, like I feel like that's when his like charisma as Black Adam, I feel like, came out more. When it's just him alone, it sometimes felt a bit like, just him like looking stoic and like
a robot,
like the entire like the time. It's like I feel like he needed a second person for it to like click together. When
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
There's a lot of staring in the movie.
Yeah,
gonna stare
I mean, that's what Dwayne Johnson does.
He'll fly up and like stare. He stared at the statue like 3 times.
Actually, if you've seen Jumanji, it's called The Smolder.
Oh,
I mean, if you
Oh.
it's called The Smolder.
I did remember. I think what my favorite scene is when the zombies come out, and I forget his name, but the brother comes driving in. The baby come back, and then he starts like he pulls out the mace or a golf club or something, and it's like, it's okay, I died by electricity.
yeah.
That was a good one. He was
really
definitely a bright spot in the movie.
Absolutely.
Favorite character.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
The mid-credit scene.
Oh yeah.
I felt like I felt good about it in a like, I feel like I feel like it was cool seeing Henry Cavill actually have like the Superman curl. Like it was subtle, but I'm like,
oh yeah,
I noticed that too.
Are
They
they
played the
going
original
like,
theme too.
proper
The John
Superman
Williams
direction in the future? Like I'm hoping that's like a sign that like they're gonna like try to be more like Superman like going forward,
Yeah,
He's
I mean,
Are you
already
saying
got
you don't
it.
want Batman v Superman 2?
it's
know
been
how
an
much you love
it's
that
been an
movie.
evolution of a character. Like honestly, Superman is kind of the only character that we've really gotten in the DCEU with any kind of long-term character development.
Yeah.
Like he's had the most appearances, to be fair.
Amanda
Right.
Waller.
Shut up.
True.
Doesn't count. But I mean, Superman started in Man of Steel. He was kind of this moody, like, I don't know, mid-30s guy, and now he's the Superman that we kind of recognize and hopefully will end up loving
Yeah.
as someone more recognizable.
Man of Steel 2 is officially moving forward, so
But yeah, I think it's sort of he seems more like just regular Superman. He had a lot of baggage in the last few movies.
Yeah.
Fast. They even added on baggage. It's like Batman hates him.
Yeah.
Everyone hates him. Lex Luthor hates. Well, obviously Lex Luthor is gonna hate him, but they just threw shit at him nonstop. But I do find it interesting. Like in the comics, Superman should almost never beat Black Adam. I think they fought a few times, and he almost never wins on his own. I think one time he wins on his own, but he normally like requires help because he's weak to magic.
Yeah, that's one of Superman's weaknesses.
I am curious. They'll need Shazam.
Well, if we know anything from the credit scene of Shazam, Superman and Shazam know each other.
True.
I mean, are we going to see? I know Shazam: Fury of the Gods comes out next spring.
I hope Superman comes in.
Are we going to see Superman or Black Adam in that movie?
I'm hopeful.
Probably not Black Adam. Maybe Black Adam in the post-credit scene.
I doubt it. I mean, I also have no idea how connected they want these movies to be now, because
Yeah.
they went away for a while after being super connected, and now they're like kind of coming back,
Mhm.
but also not really.
I think
So
they're definitely aiming for the connection because
I
they
think
already
so
have.
too.
Well,
They've got Shazam, Black Adam, who clearly are connected.
yeah, like that's like Black Adam
The
and
Wizard's gonna appear in his third movie.
yeah. Like that's I feel like they're such closely associated characters that I almost feel like you gotta have at least you don't have to have it as like a character in the movie, but I feel like there's got to be at least an appearance, at least in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing at like Superman showing up, the Black Adam, the Justice Society, it's very clear they're trying to
Mhm.
throw shenanigans. Hopefully they just do a better job. Stop
Yeah.
throwing in random superheroes. It's okay. It's a Black Adam movie. You can just focus on him. And
Mhm.
I don't know, Dr. Fate, sure.
It's off to a better start.
It
I,
is.
I
It
have
is.
to say.
The thing with the DCEU is that much of their success, and I'm specifically referring to the Suicide Squad and the Snyder Cut,
Shazam.
much of their success has come on second efforts. And you can
Yeah.
only get you can only get so much, we can only give them so much length of rope to
Mhm.
sort of allow them to keep messing up and then getting it right the second time.
Yeah.
That, I mean, the Snyder Cut was a whole other thing with what was going on in Zack Snyder's personal life. I don't want to touch that, but it's really, the hallmark of this interconnected universe, right? They wanted to do that as soon as Batman v Superman was announced. They
Mhm.
wanted to do that. It's sort of the hallmark that, they have not gotten every single thing right. And I'm not saying that, by comparison, the Marvel Cinematic Universe has gotten every single thing right. We all saw the Incredible Hulk, except for Declan. We all saw, we all saw Iron Man 3. We all saw Thor: The Dark World.
It's a little cruel to say Iron Man 3 and not Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 2 as well. Granted, Iron Man 2 was on last night, and I did watch a good part of it.
Iron Man 3 is better than Iron Man 2.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I was just not going with two back-to-back films in phase one.
But
Fair.
I mean, your point is taken, right? Is that despite Marvel missing fewer times, they do have a couple of duds. And yet it does still have some relevance to the rest of the story that they want to tell, right?
Mhm.
With the DC movies, I can't even really argue that the duds that they've had have that much relevance, right? Like you can get away with not seeing some of those films and you can still completely be immersed in the world.
I think the biggest difference between like DC, well, first of all, one of the biggest things is DC just tried to fast forward to Avengers.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just by adding in so many like Batman v Superman. I mean, that's your sequel and also your introduction to Batman.
Yeah.
The
I mean, the
most
tagline Dawn of Justice,
and like yeah, this is insane. But I think the other big thing is they don't have the Infinity Stones. They don't have a Kang. They never had anything like connecting them together. I mean, sure, the Justice League happened, and it's like, oh yeah, these guys are coming, but they established the threat in the movie.
Mhm.
It's like the threats are always looming in the early phase one, phase two. There's always a threat looming in those Infinity Saga movies. And even now, we're getting they've been a little bit more independent, but because of all the established connections, I mean, you don't really notice it. Sometimes the less connections are better at this point. But for DC, yeah, it's like they have to artificially like put someone in there or have like a post-credit scene where somebody shows up. Um,
Mhm.
it's just not really authentic. And I think they need to take a step back, and they got these guys, the new guys for the Warner Brothers and DC had. I think the
James
guy,
Gunn is now co-CEO, or not CEO, but like co-head of DC Films, I think, which is like, oh wow, that's
yeah.
him
So
and
yeah,
another guy.
I would say James Gunn, but they just need someone to like have a vision for the future of the films, not just
Yeah.
giving these guys and like, oh, we want these guys to show up. Like
Yeah.
someone like Kevin Feige to plan I don't think they realize this. You should plan something if you want to make like a billion movies
Yeah.
and do something like this. Yeah, put a plan together. Don't just throw movies out
Well,
there and like, oh,
argue,
Superman, oh, Batman.
yeah. Arguably, there was a bit of an issue in that, like, one could argue that there was a plan for forming in Batman v Superman, but the problem is at least until the Snyder Cut, the plan didn't seem to be going very well and didn't seem to be
Well,
all that good.
yeah,
So it's like,
Are you
failed.
talking about the Nightmare?
what?
Because that's what Snyder wanted to get to eventually. Was
Yeah. I mean, like, kind of like the general, like, dark, extremely, like, gritty.
No, I mean it was the anti-life equation, right? Like that's what we were building to. That's what we
Yeah.
got in the Snyder Cut. That's
Yeah.
cool. I
Yeah.
would take more of that.
I'm honestly more talking about the general, like, the themes, kind of like
It was just so lazy. Like you could have alluded to something like Cyborg. I don't know,
Yeah.
make its own movie. And then you could tease the fucking mother boxes, but they had no patience to develop anything. And so you slam a bunch of shit together.
They had Wonder Woman go on Batman's computer and watch a bunch of clips of the characters doing things.
I mean, it's like, come on, this is so lazy. They write the movie and then they like add in things. That's actually what they did for Justice League. The theatrical cut was because it wasn't finished. They sort of just like he had his idea for the plot, and then they would artificially put in all these like jokes and stuff that just didn't fit at all. It's a problem with DC. It's like they seem to have no vision. Until they get that,
yeah,
doesn't matter.
Vision died in Infinity War.
Actually, he came back though.
Did he?
Also,
Yeah.
it's the wrong comic.
Yeah, I think if they have a plan, like especially now that you've got someone like James Gunn in the fold leading the charge, if you've got a good story that you're gonna follow and you're gonna interconnect the universe, you're gonna have Superman showing up in the post-credit scene of Black Adam, you're gonna have Batfleck back for one last ride in the Flash movie. You've got another Shazam movie, another Aquaman movie.
Oh, the Flash movie. Oh God.
Yeah. I think if you've got a plan to tell this story, it's not too late to save what you started.
No, it isn't. They just have to start doing it.
They're
They have
building
to
it
start
now. That's what I think. That's why I think what they're doing right now is like marginally better, right? You're building off of one of the better projects in Shazam, giving it a sequel. Black Adam, a fine project, but then you also sort of tie him back to the oldest ones in the DCU, which also brings everything kind of full circle. Like everything already exists now. You've set the stage with 3 movies. It only took 3 movies for them to connect everything, and now they can just go. They can tell a story now. They don't need to do anything else. This is not a heavy lift.
Yeah, in
Like
the
it was
interest
a much bigger project that they took on at the very beginning. This is much easier.
And one of the biggest
in the interest of world building, they kind of skipped over the world building, but now they have a world that's built.
Yeah,
because they threw things together mishmash, and now it ended up
Right.
working.
You
Because then
don't
they can
know
take, yeah,
how strong the foundation is, but you know that there is a foundation and you can build on it.
yeah, you can test it.
Test it, but don't keep succeeding on your second try.
Mm.
Like,
Yeah,
I still
for
haven't
sure.
seen Suicide Squad. I watched The Suicide Squad coincidentally the night before the James Gunn news was actually announced.
Oh wow.
But
don't watch it. It's not even worth
Yeah,
it.
you're fine. You don't need to watch it.
I don't plan to watch it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like,
But
like-
again, that's back to the problem that we were talking about, is that you can skip over so many of these projects and not miss out on anything.
But
You just need to
yeah,
know that they exist.
I think what you're talking about though goes back to my point, is like a centralized plot throughout all the films, where even if a movie sucks, if that plot is like in the film, then you have to watch it. Like the Avengers movies all had, Infinity Stones and pretty much Iron Man didn't really, but I think they tease.
They teased the
Later.
Avengers Initiative.
Yeah, they tease the Avengers Initiative, which everybody knows. I mean, they don't even tease the Justice League. It's like a haphazardly created thing. Where
Yeah,
it's
you
like,
got
we're all
again, like
superheroes.
Declan said, you've got the scene where Wonder Woman's watching video
Yeah.
clips on Batman's computer. Oh, here's all these other characters we're gonna bring in the next movie, and we have to
Batman
save
took
the
the
world
time
together.
to like make
It
a little
was-
logo for each one,
It
made a
was
little light.
absolutely insane for them to do a Justice League movie without doing a standalone Batman movie, a standalone Flash movie, a standalone. You put Cyborg in there, a standalone Cyborg movie. Like,
How about a standalone Green Lantern movie? Not even really in the movie.
Mm.
Green Lantern's a huge part of the Justice League.
oh yeah, well I think they were waiting on that one because they tried.
Yeah, true.
Well, I don't think the Ryan Reynolds film, and I can't believe that a conversation about Black Adam has gotten to Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern,
Oh God.
but I don't think that was ever intended to be part of anything bigger.
No. That actually was supposed to be the star, but it did so terribly
Bullshit.
they excommunicated it. I
Yes,
Do not
yes.
believe you.
I'm telling
There's
you,
no way.
I
Well,
read
There's no
they
way.
include Amanda Waller in it. Like they're trying to, but again, it
you
failed.
can
So
go
like,
back. You can go back to even have the same DC like intro.
it's not supposed to be the same DC universe, but it's like it was theoretically
It was
attempted.
meant to be the start of the DC universe,
Yeah.
and then they were going to go into Man of Steel.
Failed.
Well, that was their Incredible Hulk.
Yeah,
that was
Except
their
it happened
Incredible
out of
Hulk.
order.
That's a
didn't,
good analogy.
It was their Incredible Hulk, except they didn't just sort of like keep Hulk and sort of forget about the movie and recast and whatever. They just completely deleted it, and they said no, that's not happening. It doesn't exist.
Didn't
in the
happen.
universe.
I mean, after the Deadpool 2 joke, I feel like no film has ever been more eviscerated by
Fun fact, DC paid Marvel for that opportunity in Deadpool 2. They paid them $3 million so that they could shoot Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern dead.
Oh my god!
Welcome to the big leagues, Ryan. You're
welcome, Canada.
Like, it's like I already like Deadpool 2, but that was like it's an amazing moment.
So one more note on Black Adam here. Declan, you brought up the inclusion of Waller
Mm.
in this film. We saw her in Suicide Squad, The Suicide Squad. What do you guys, is that another attempt of
I don't know what she's
interconnecting
doing.
everything?
I don't know what she's doing because, like, if I remember correctly, the Justice Society is just the Justice League before. Like,
Yeah.
that's why Kent Nelson is like old. Dr. Fate is old. He's like 120 or whatever.
Mm.
Like, they used to fight
Pierce
wars
Brosnan
in
looks
the-
great for 120.
but they used to fight in like the 50s, 40s, 50s, like fighting Nazis.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure. It doesn't seem like a thing that would be connected to Amanda Waller and was
Yeah.
it Argus is her domain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I won't lie. Since the last film I saw her in was The Suicide Squad, which was like such vastly different tone from Black Adam, in my opinion. It was almost strange seeing her back in like a more standard superhero
She's
film.
such an asshole in the Suicide Squad that
Yeah.
like, my own like coworkers knock her out.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
So I think it's funny because it sort of seems like they're trying to do Amanda Waller as Nick Fury, but when you have the Suicide Squad and show how horrible a person it is, like,
Yeah.
Nick Fury is like likable. It's like, yeah, he's gonna fight for us. You got that scene in the Avengers where it's like, I understand the committee's made a decision, but because it's a stupid ass decision, I've elected to ignore it. That's sort of I'm on the side of the people. Whereas Amanda Waller is like a stone cold, bureaucratic.
yeah.
So I'm curious to see where they take her.
She was there, and she's clearly,
she was.
Viola Davis is clearly a part of DC's plan going forward.
Yeah.
Because I mean, typically in the comics, Batman sort of functions as the Nick Fury role.
Mhm.
Well, he did in Batman v Superman and in Justice League.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So Black Adam is still playing in movie theaters. You guys can go check it out. I think the general consensus here is it was pretty good.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. Like
It
it
was
wasn't
entertaining.
it wasn't
Yeah.
great, but it was, as Ben said in a tweet a week before the movie came out, the nonstop action romp, and he loved every minute of it.
hell yeah, hell yeah. Ben Green, follow
So,
Ben Green on Twitter.
So we'll be back
Before
next week.
Elon Musk bans him.
We'll be back next week. We're going to talk about a Netflix film that is super long. Get started on it now, boys. Long live Ben's wig, I guess. We'll see you next week.
Mm-hmm.
Good night.
Yeah.
Night, everyone.
Have a good night.